Alright guys, welcome to Modern English Development Level, class number 16. Today we're going to be talking about graduation. What a fun subject, graduation. When you finish school, you go through graduation. Before we get into all that, let's take a look at the warm-up. So, repeat after me. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. Wow, okay, one more time. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. All right, let's see if we can do that 3 times fast. Here we go. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. Wow, that was 2 times fast and 1 time slow, but good enough. Well, first of all, let's talk about the meaning. Texas, what is Texas? Texas is a state in the United States. It's a southern state, the state of Texas. This is where George Bush comes from, and George W. Bush. Texas, okay? Second word, taxes. All right, taxes. What is a tax? If you have to pay tax, you have to pay some money to the government. You can pay income tax or you can pay sales tax. What we're talking about here is probably income tax. Okay, you can also pay a registration tax. Like if you buy a car, you have to pay a tax to the government. But there's income tax. When you work, you have to pay a portion, a percentage of your money to the government in taxes. Or if you buy something, sometimes you have to pay a percentage of the cost to the government in taxes. That's tax, okay? When you pay some money to the government. Finally, a taxi. What is a taxi? Well, this is short for taxi cab. The full name is taxi cab. Everybody knows taxi, right? Hey, taxi! Yeah, a little different. In America, I've seen people, actually, I've never taken a taxi in America, but people hail a taxi, right? Hey, taxi! In China, everybody's much cooler. Just over here. Come here. Taxi. But that's hailing a cab, right? Hailing a taxi. But the full name is taxi cab, so you can call it either a taxi or a cab. Both all right. And terribly. Well, you know what the word terrible means, right? Something's really bad. It's terribly. So if you do something terribly, you do it badly, or you do something very, like, too much, right? You tax somebody terribly. You tax them too much. All right, so let's do it one more time. Texas taxes, taxis terribly. All right, let's go on to the next part. All right, let's do a little quiz on the words we learned in the warm-up. First of all, tell me, what is Texas? That's right, Texas is a state in the United States. Very good. Next question. What are taxes? If I tell you I have to pay taxes, what am I paying? That's right. Taxes is money, our money you have to pay to the government for things like income or things like buying things, sales tax, okay? Very good. Let's go on to the next one. What are taxis? Or what is a taxi? That's right, it's short for taxi cab. Everybody knows what a taxi cab, right? Hail a cab. We're going to talk about some phrases that deal with graduation right now. So, let's take a look at the first one. Everybody say, congratulations. Okay? One more time. Congratulations. Now, this is something you'd say if somebody has done something well. If you win something, if you win a game, you say, congratulations. It means you did a good job. It means I'm happy for you. At a wedding, if you get married, somebody should say, congratulations to you. When you graduate, it's also a big event, so somebody should tell you, congratulations. It means you did a good job. All right? Let's look at the next one. What are you going to do now? All right, one more time. What are you going to do now? All right, well, this is actually a really important question, and it's a big question, and it's a question a lot of people wonder about in the days, weeks, months, maybe even years leading up to your graduation. You have to decide what you're going to do next, what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And this is a question you'll often get asked at a graduation. After you graduated, somebody will ask you, well, What are you going to do now? What are you going to do? Are you going to find a job? Are you going to become a bum? Are you going to go on to more schooling? What are you going to do now? Really important question. So, one more time. What are you going to do now? All right, let's look at the next one. Are you going to college? And once again, are you going to college? Boy, this one's difficult. What's college? College is university. Everybody knows that, I hope. All right, let's move on to the next part. We have to have a little quiz now about the words that we learned. First of all, what does the word congratulations mean? That's right. You'd say congratulations if somebody does something good. Very good. Okay, next question. What is college? Yes, you heard me. What is college? Answer this question. That's right. College is another name for university. It's the school you go to after high school. Very good. Next question. If I ask you, what's your next step? What does that mean? What's your next step? Right, your next step would be the next thing you're going to do. What are your plans for the future? Very good.
Tell me, Sandra, what makes you come to America to study?
Oh, I think UC Berkeley is one of the finest universities in the world. I applied and received a scholarship to study here. So, here I am.
Good for you. I'm sure you'll love it at Berkeley. I'll always remember my college days.
What were they like?
College for me was a lot of partying, drinking, dating girls. But now I have to face the real life. It was also tough, but I made it and became a college graduate.
How did you feel when you graduated?
It was a proud day for me. My family attended the graduation ceremony. I was so nervous I couldn't find my cap and gown, but it all worked out in the end.
What did you do after you graduated?
I was planning to attend graduate school, but then I was offered a good job doing graphics design, so I changed my mind.
Sounds like you're happy with that decision.
I sure am.
Hi! Let's have a look at the 10 sentences now, why don't we? Okay, so we're dealing with graduation now. And like I told you before, you can graduate from college, you can graduate from high school, you can graduate from technical school if you want to, but I'll talk about that later. Let's look at the first sentence. This is actually just one word, but one word can be a sentence too, can't it? All right, let's read the first one. Congratulations. All right, let's try that one more time. Congratulations. Yeah, very good. So, congratulations means you've done something well, you've done something right. I should congratulate you. All right, good. Let's say that one more time. Congratulations. Okay, good. Let's look at the second one. Number 2. Will your family attend the graduation ceremony? Okay, one more time. Will your family attend the graduation ceremony? All right, first of all, what does attend mean? If you attend something, I attended a party. It's just a fancy way to say go somewhere, go to something. I'm going to attend your graduation means I will go to your graduation. Now, ceremony, this is a good word. This is like a formal celebration. How's that for a definition for you, huh? A formal celebration of something would be a ceremony, like a wedding ceremony. Very formal. You have to go through many steps, and you have to do it in a formal way. That's a ceremony. All right? All right, let's say this sentence one more time. Will your family attend the graduation ceremony? All right, that's good. Let's go on to the next one. Number 3. What are you going to do now? All right, one more time. What are you going to do now? Wow, you guys aren't giving me much to go with here, are you? But let's dissect this sentence, huh? What? Now, this is a question word. It requires an answer, doesn't it? What are you going to do? If you do something, well, do. How do I describe the word do? Good Lord. I hope they just give you a Chinese translation for this because I'm spacing out right now. But what are you going to do now? We're inquiring about your future plans. What are you going to do now? You've finished this. You've graduated. Now you have to do something else, right? So let's read this sentence one more time. What are you going to do now? All right, very good. Let's go on to the next one. Number 4. What's your next step, son? And one more time. What's your next step, son? All right, now we've already done this one to death, I think, but we'll do it one more time. Your next step. You take steps in life, right? You go from one place to the other. You put one foot in front of the other. That's a step. Now, usually when we're talking about steps, we're talking about going upwards. Steps upward, right? So your next step would be the next thing you do in life. Boy, I hope you understand that. And when you say son, now this is just another way you can address a person that's younger than you. If it's a boy, you can call them son. All right. So usually it would be an older person at your graduation would ask you, "What are you going to do next, son?" Okay. What are you going to do now? What's your next step, son? So let's do this one more time. What's your next step, son? Stepson. Stepson. Well, that brings up another topic. A stepson. All right. Imagine this. Your mother and father get divorced. Then your mother marries another guy. You would be that guy's stepson. Can you understand that? That's a stepson. You can have stepson, stepdaughter, stepfather. The new father would be your stepfather. All right, let's go on to the next one. Number 5. Don't work too hard, son. Why don't we go out for a nice family dinner tonight to celebrate your graduation? All right, let's do that one more time. Don't work too hard, son. Why don't we go out for a nice family dinner tonight to celebrate your graduation? Okay, so what does this mean? Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Well, of course we know what don't work too hard means. We had hard boss. We can remember work, right? But why don't we go out for a nice family dinner? A family dinner would be a dinner where we get together with our family. Just family involved. Very quiet. Just celebrate with your family. Well, celebrate, okay? Celebrate means if something good happens, you have a little party. You celebrate. Yay! Celebration, okay? So, let's read that sentence one more time. Don't work too hard, son. Why don't we go out for a nice family dinner tonight to celebrate your graduation? All right, good. Let's move on to number 6. Now that I'm graduating, I realize what a fun time I had in college. All right, now that I'm graduating, I've realized what a fun time I had in college. If you realize something, it means it finally comes to you. I understand it. Now I realize that college was fun. Maybe when you're in college, you don't think it's very fun. You have a lot of tests to take. You have a lot of papers to write. Sometimes it's very hard on you. But after you finish college, after you get into the real world, you realize how easy college was. All you have to do is think about, oh, I have a test I have to do next week. Well, that's much better than thinking about where am I going to find money to feed myself next week, isn't it? Yes, it is. So let's do this one more time. Now that I'm graduating, I realize what a fun time I had in college. All right, very good. Let's move on to the next sentence. Number 7. My parents gave me this nice golden pen with my initials on it as a graduation gift. Okay? One more time. My parents gave me this nice golden pen with my initials on it, graduation gift. Okay, first of all, a golden pen. You know what a pen is, but a golden pen would be a pen that's made out of gold. A lot of people have golden watches, right? A gold watch made out of gold. Now, the pen has my initials on it. What are initials? Initials are the letters that stand for your first and last name, and perhaps your middle name. So my initials, if I had them on a pen, would be J.M. for Jake Massey, right? Initials. Now, a graduation gift. It's tradition for your parents to buy you a graduation gift after you graduate from high school and from college. So, a gold pen could be a graduation gift, some present they give you for graduating. All right? Let's look at number 8. College for me was a lot of partying, drinking, and dating girls. But now I have to face real life. Oh, poor thing. One more time. College for me was a lot of partying, drinking, and dating girls. But now I have to face real life. Okay, so partying, you understand. Go party. Drinking, yes, drinking alcohol, and dating girls, going out on dates. But now I have to face real life. If you have to face something, you have to face up to it. You have to accept it. I have to face real life. I have to look at it. Okay? I have to deal with it now. I have to face real life. So it means deal with it. And real life, well, in America we talk about real life as being your life after school. School is like kind of a dream life, right? You don't have too many responsibilities aside from getting your work done. Real life is life after school, where you have to worry about what you're going to eat and where you're going to live. That's real life, okay? Now let's go on to the next, or let's say that one more time. College for me was a lot of partying, drinking, and dating girls. But now I have to face real life. Okay, good. Let's go on to number 9. My brother graduated valedictorian of his class and received the department citation. All right, one more time. My brother graduated valedictorian of his class and received the department citation. All right, so first of all, what's valedictorian? What is a valedictorian? This is the person who graduates head of your class, the number 1 person in the class, the person that got the best grades throughout college would be the valedictorian, okay? The best person. This comes from Latin. This word is Latin. It's not an actual English word. So that's the person that's the head of the class, okay? Now, a citation. He received a citation. He got a citation from the department. The department usually means, okay, there's an English department, there's a science department, there's the math department. These are just different parts of the school that teach different subjects. So if you got a citation is like an award. You did something good, so you get an award from that department. So let's do this one more time. My brother graduated valedictorian of his class and received the department citation. All right, very good. Let's look at the last sentence. I had this beautiful prom dress, and with that, I will be the prom queen tonight. One more time. I have this beautiful prom dress, and with that, I will be the prom queen tonight. Oh boy. So first of all, what's a prom? Well, in the United States, we have a very formal dance every year for the people at high school, for the students in high school, called the prom. Now, you'll have to find a date for the prom. A girl has to go with a guy, and you go to the prom together. The girl buys a very expensive dress, a beautiful dress, actually a really ugly, big, puffy dress, but they think it's beautiful. But they buy a big dress, and the guys have to rent a tuxedo. Now, what's a tuxedo? The most formal kind of suit you can wear is a tuxedo. So they go together to this very formal dance. They take some pictures, they drink some punch, they dance around, and then they go home at night. That's the prom. Very formal dance, okay? Very big deal for high school people in the United States. So let's read this one more time. I have this beautiful prom dress, and with that, I will be the prom queen tonight. One last thing I forgot to mention. During the prom, we have a vote. You get to vote who will be the prom queen and the prom king. Prom queen and king. The 2 most popular students in school can be the prom king and the prom queen. Isn't that nice? So let's do it one more time. I have this beautiful prom dress, and with that, I will be the prom queen tonight. All right, very good. Let's go on to the next part. Well, hi, it's time for our little quiz on the 10 sentences. I hope you all learned a lot, because now we're going to quiz you. First question, what does the word attend mean? That's right, tell me what the word attend means. That's right, attend means to go somewhere. I'm going to attend your party tonight. Just a fancy way of saying go somewhere. Next question, what's a ceremony? That's right, a ceremony is just like a formal party. Next question, what does the word realize mean? If I realize something, what's that mean? That's right, if you realize something, it means you understand something, or you understand the full importance of something. You realize something. Next question, what are initials? If I say I want my initials tattooed on my butt, what do I mean? That's right, your initials are just the letters that stand for your name. If I wanted my initials on my butt, it would say JM on my butt, maybe one on each cheek. Next question. If I say, what are you going to do in your real life? What am I talking about? What's real life? That's right, your real life is your life after school, your life of work. That's right, your real life is life after school, or as I like to call it, hell on earth. Next question, what is a valedictorian? That's right, a valedictorian is a person that graduates #1 in their class. Very good. Next question, what is a citation? That's right, a citation is a type of award. Very good. Last question, what is the prom? You got that right. It's a formal dance held once a year for high school students in the United States. All right, now it's time for a little joke. This joke is entitled Alligator Shoes. A young woman was on vacation in Louisiana. She was in a bad need of a pair of real alligator shoes, but the local vendor was asking for a very high price. After becoming very frustrated with the no-bargain attitude of one of the shopkeepers, the lady shouted, "Maybe I'll just go out and catch my own alligator so I can get a pair of shoes at a reasonable price." The shopkeeper said, "By all means, be my guest. Maybe you'll be lucky and catch yourself a big one." The lady went into the swamps and started catching herself an alligator, or trying to catch herself an alligator. Later in the day, the shopkeeper was driving home when he saw the young woman standing in the water with a gun in her hand. Just then, he saw a huge alligator swimming quickly toward her. She killed it, and with a great deal of effort, hauled it onto the bank. Lying nearby were several more of the dead alligators. The shopkeeper watched in amazement. Just then, the woman turned the alligator around on its back and, frustrated, shouted, "Damn it! This one isn't wearing any shoes either." Oh, that's good. So anyway, a lot of things we can learn here. Louisiana, a state in Southern America, or in the south part of the United States, not in Southern America. All right? Alligator shoes. What's an alligator? It's a type of animal, right? An alligator. Big mouth like that, right? Usually lives in the water. Now, you can make shoes out of an alligator skin. You can make a purse out of an alligator skin. You can make anything else. A belt is a very... All right, so we've been talking a lot about graduation, but we never really talked about what a graduation ceremony should look like. Well, a typical graduation ceremony looks very much like this, be it for high school or college. Actually, high school and college graduation is very similar, almost the same actually. What happens is all the students have to dress up. You have to dress up in the graduation costume, right? You have to wear a cap and gown. Now, the gown, well, everybody's seen this in pictures. You've probably worn one yourself. Black and a big robe, like a big robe, flowing robe. That's the gown. Now, the cap is, well, we call it a mortar board, okay? Because it's like a board and it just sticks on the top of your head like that. So it's got the name mortar board. And also you have something called a tassel, which will hang down. The little thing that hangs down off the hat is a tassel. So what happens is everybody gets into a big auditorium, a big public building, okay? Somebody will stand up in the front and give some speech. If you're in college, sometimes they hire like a professional speaker or like somebody very famous to get up and give you some inspiring speech. Go out there, change the future, you're the face of tomorrow. Something like that. And they'll make you all pumped up to go out there and face the real world. After the speech, probably the president of the college or the school will give a speech and talk to you, and then you get to hear from the valedictorian, the person that was number one in the class will give a speech. After that, you get to get your diploma. So, you get to file up there, and they play the dun, 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 of course that song, as you're walking up there to get your diploma. You walk up there, you shake the president's hand, and they give you the piece of paper, and then they hit you in the butt and you leave. No, they don't hit you in the butt. But then you walk off the stage, you maybe pose for a picture, they take your picture. Okay, well this is just the actual ceremony itself. You have to wear these clothes. Oh, but it's almost always hot. I don't know why, but probably because you graduate during the summertime, right? During the summertime? Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah, during the summertime. So it's always hot in that place. The air conditioner is never cool enough to cool you off when you're sitting there in this gown. So what a lot of people like to do is go naked. Of course, under the gown. Maybe have no clothes on under the gown. Eee, gross. But anyway, after you've gotten your diploma, you have to have the reception party, like the graduation reception. This will usually take place at your house or at a church or something like that. It's just a big party for all the people that know you or have known you since you're growing up, and they come to your house, and guess what? They give you money. That's probably the best part of this. They give you a little envelope with, oh, it sounds very Chinese, doesn't it? You get an envelope with a card and a little money inside there for your graduation party. And everybody will sit around and eat cake and whatnot. Now, it's a very similar ceremony for graduating from high school and from graduating for college. In fact, it almost looked the same for my college and high school graduation. It seemed almost the same too. But this is a very important ceremony because this is what is called, or what I'd like to call a milestone, all right? This is a term I'd like to teach you, a milestone. In your life, you have many milestones as you grow older. These are things that you use to mark time, to mark important events. In America, we have some milestones, all right? When you're 18 years old, you're legal to buy cigarettes. So, of course, you go out and buy some cigarettes. When you're 21, you're allowed to drink, okay? That's another milestone. This is a way to mark time in your life, mark getting older. Now, graduation is a huge milestone event in your life. You graduate, that means you're done with a big part of your life and ready to move on to another one. Another big milestone is when you get your first driver's license. When you're legal to drive, you have independence, you have freedom, you can drive around by yourself. That's another big milestone. So a milestone means some important event in your life that you can track the time with, okay? That's a milestone. Another way to say this is a rite of passage. I don't know if you've heard this before, but a rite of passage is something that you have to go through to get older, to become a man, to become a woman, to become mature. This is called a rite of passage. Like with the American Indians, sometimes they have to go out on something called a vision quest. If a young man wanted to prove that he's a man, he'd have to go out, wander around in the forest by himself for maybe a week, catch his own food, try and see some visions, something like that. That's called a rite of passage, something you have to go through to show that you're mature. Now, graduation ceremony could be a rite of passage. Okay? Now, a graduation ceremony is important for you because it helps you mark time. It's a milestone. But it's also very important for your parents. Probably more so for your parents. Because those are the people that are sitting there during this hot, sweaty ceremony watching you. They want to see that you made it through college or that you made it through high school because who's helping you along the whole way? Of course they are. They have a big part to play in your education. So, like I've always said, I think parents have more at stake in this than you do. I think they care more about a graduation than you do. And your grandparents, of course. The people that are looking on are the ones that the ceremony is actually for. But anyway, just a few things about graduation ceremony. Remember, wear a gown, you wear the cap. The cap is called a mortarboard. You have a tassel. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. After you shake hands with the president and you get your diploma, you take the tassel and you flip it over the other side, symbolizing that you've graduated. All right, well, that's about it for now. Let's have a look at the next section. All right, now it's time for our role play section or our practice section. So what I want you to do, I want everybody in the room to stand up. Get up out of your chairs right now. What you're going to do is mingle. You're going to talk to as many people as you can in this room, and you're going to ask them if you've met them before. Try and ask them if you've met them before. Just pretend, okay? Just pretend you're asking them if you've met them before. And I want you to use some of the sentences out of the book, okay? And make up some of your own. Ask each other if you went to school together, or if they're still in school, if they've graduated from school. Talk about if you both went to school together, talk about what school was like for both of you. Just pretend you're getting acquainted with somebody you haven't seen in a long time, okay? And use some of the sentences we've used in the book. Talk about graduation, and all that kind of good stuff. So go ahead, mingle around. All right, now it's time for a role play. I want everybody to get into groups of 3 or 4, and you're going to make a small skit. You're going to make a little play about a graduation, okay? You're at a graduation, and you recognize somebody that you've known before. You know, at a graduation, a lot of people get together that haven't been together for a long time. Just pretend 2 of you have known each other in the past, and you're meeting again. So, get together, prepare these little plays, and we'll go around the room, and we'll talk about it. Hi everybody, welcome to Modern English Proficiency Level. I'm going to be your teacher for these series of lessons, 1 through 36, and well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself before we get going. My name is Jake Massey, alright? I'm from the United States of America. I was born in the state of Minnesota. I went to school for an English degree. I have a degree in English literature and a degree in communications. So pretty good degrees for English teaching. This is not exactly what I wanted to do.